this should be good.
We continue live from the Loft 100 Studios in beautiful sunny Carlsbad, California. It is the Big Biz Show.
Or
The man's
otherwise
big,
known as
what?
otherwise known as a big business show, apparently.
The large financial program.
Great to have you along today. Mike Costa.
Hello.
No idea who he is. Greg Tonoff, our executive producer, and of course, Allison Ross, former news anchor. Allison Ratzlaff. I'm Sully. That's the Sully Band. Let's get started. Did I tell you that I caused the stock to go up 4,000% yesterday?
Yes,
Me single-handedly. I took one of our guests here. That's a frequent guest, Steve Brady. You might remember him from the Brady Bunch.
yeah.
Steve is the CEO of a company called Tempest Therapeutics. Their stock symbol is T.
PST.
Thank you. PST. I'm joking. These guys put out a press release yesterday with their top line data.
Yeah.
Their stock went up 4,000%.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
They're on the cover of freaking MarketWatch. That was me.
Yep.
Brady,
moly.
hey, are you still liquored up from yesterday's celebration, or are you working today? Man, what a day.
No, I decided I think one drink would have put me down last night, so I'm saving it for the
But it was
weekend.
a large one. Okay, let's talk about this. First of all, I want to bring up, when a stock does something like that, it's almost like an IPO. It's like an exit. And when you have companies that are on the way up or fledgling companies, you're raising money along the way. Now, those deals are organized and they're credible, but every stage of financing, like the friends and family, Greg, I can't defend my valuation. Will you loan me money, but I'll convert it to equity? So I'll give you a kicker. All of those kickers are called warrants or options. Yesterday, Tempest cap table, all of those things executed. He has a clean cap table, and now he's in the conversation. It's a big deal because when you see how a stock reacts after, let's say, 24 hours, guys, the dust hasn't settled on the stock. There's still trades coming in from yesterday. There's still guys executing warrants because, and by the way, if I'm not mistaken, didn't you trade 168 million shares?
Yeah, somebody said that we were on CNBC's ticker right next to Apple.
Well, you traded more than Apple and Oracle combined. So
Yeah,
congratulations.
Yeah,
All right. And there's lots of lessons we learned here about that part. It was a home run. It'll continue to be a home run. And I think the first thing front and center is before we get to the release was, this puts you in the conversation for acquisition, which, if I'm not mistaken, is called the exit, which means he's on a yacht with a lanai and a jacuzzi and a helicopter.
on the yacht.
Which, wait, by the way, in all seriousness, Steve has done several exits. This is not de rigueur to you, but you're familiar with this. I'm assuming that the acquisition sort of narrative is going to start happening soon because of this press release. Talk about the press release and what it means.
Yeah, well, thank you. And thank you for having me back on the show. And I think you gave Mike credit for the stock move. So thank you, Mike. I appreciate you getting the word out to everybody because it obviously. Yeah, no. I'll,
He's got a blog.
Yeah.
There's something coming in the mail. No, but seriously, we put out data that we're just incredibly excited about yesterday. So as we've talked about on the show in the past, right, our lead program, TPST 1120, has been in a global randomized study in liver cancer. And as Sully has said many times, it's still a horrible cancer. I mean, the standard of care, which is atezo plus bev, as it's called colloquially, in the phase 3 for that study, people were still dying in under 2 years, and they were progressing with the cancer was coming back in less than 7 months. And these are new patients, right? And this is the best thing out there for everybody. And it's a great therapy. But what we had the rare opportunity to do was to take this molecule, which 1120, which is a very interesting, cool, novel approach to fighting cancer. People are starting to call it immunometabolism. Right. We're hearing that more and more recently. It was combined with that therapy and compared in a randomized study against that therapy. So the data that came out yesterday in our world, randomized data are the best data to look at. Right, there's no questions. It's the same patients at the same time. So,
talk about the outcome because it's a pretty big outcome.
Yeah, no, we're really excited. So there's something in our world called objective response rate, which is where, or ORR, where we measure patients' tumor shrinkage. And the standard of care in this data cut, which was around 9 months following patients, was at about 13% ORR. And the 1120, when you added it on, increased that to 30%.
Wow. Jeez.
But one of the other things that's great and which we were really excited about was this is cutting edge science, right? Not just a Tempest, multiple companies doing cutting edge science. And one of the things we wanted to be able to do was look into patient populations and say, if you had this special immune setting or this special mutation, the way 1120 works, these patients should have done better. And so in one of those key populations, I won't geek out too bad, but there's two key subpopulations that we care about. Because remember, the goal in cancer therapy, like in a lot of different medical practices, is to be able to pick the right patients, right? We don't want to do anything that aren't going to work, right? So in thoughtful therapies, we want to be able to, give people a hope that they're getting something that should work in them. So the first one, there's this one mutation in beta-catenin, and in those patients that were measured who had that mutation, that ORR jumped up to 43%. Wow. And importantly, there's something we call disease control rate, which is where you take tumor shrinkage and then you take tumor control. And in that subgroup of patients, that was 100%.
What? So as a result of that, and by the way, reading the press release was kind of hard to navigate if you're not a scientist. Having said that, there's
I'm
enough.
sorry.
Let me write next time. There was enough institutional investors involved, and there's enough guys on the street in the science community that took a taste of this stock yesterday. The stock went up 100% or better. And as I said, there's a gestation period. Did you have? So let me tell you the bad news here. Steve in confidence, because he's a client, said, we got something big coming out. Didn't tell me what it was. He told me 2 days ago. So first of all, I have to say, I knew it was significant 2 days ago, but I didn't realize that it's basically a cure for cancer. When you say words like 40% versus 11%, 100%. So what's next, Steve? Honestly, are you at the goal line? Is there a risk aversion model where SmithKline or Pfizer comes in and takes it out? What's your guess at this point?
Yeah, so where we are right now is this drug, in our opinion and the opinion of our advisors, is phase 3 ready. I mean, this is the time to take 1120 into what's called a pivotal study. And on the other side of that, you have a label, and this can finally get to patients from their doctors as opposed to only being in clinical trials. It's a huge momentous point. A lot of us in biotech work their whole careers and never work on a drug. I've been fortunate to have worked on one drug that in myeloma that's approved now and is helping a lot of people. And 1120 to us, it feels like a drug, because as a reminder, and I know we don't have a lot of time, it's not just liver cancer. We had data last year at this meeting called ASCO in kidney cancer and in a rare form of cancer called cholangiocarcinoma. And so 1120 looks like it could potentially help in multiple kinds of cancer.
Well, the street and the scientists certainly think so. I know I got to run, Steve. Thank you so much, pal. I appreciate it. What is Steve Brady, Tempest. I got to tell you, I'm not kidding.
That's someone who's really
I'm not kidding.
the world.
I thought on Tuesday. I'm sorry. I'm being right.
That's okay.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I paid that. Take this show. I just want to pay off my JCPenney card. See you in a minute.